Hello, everyone. I'm Nussbaum, co-founder and CEO of Nuttnest, and I am super excited to be here today on this 2022 Fall Summit, where we're going to get to talk about strategies heading into 2023 and what does that look like and what are implementable practices that you can do today to drive success for next year. Because I know we've all had a fantastic 2022, but we want to have an absolutely amazing 2023. And I wanted to give you a little bit of insight, give you the ability to look into my mind and what it's like every year as I start to process and put together my goals and what I want to achieve in 2023. And what I do is I do it every year. And it matters. We hear the analogy so much that goals are like that GPS. When you get in that car and you head somewhere, you want to know where you're going. You don't just want to be out aimlessly driving around. And there's so many of us that unfortunately are. And I spent a lot of years myself doing the exact same thing, where I had goals, I had places I wanted to go, but I didn't visit that. I didn't know what that looked like. And that just led me driving in circles. I don't know if anybody out there has ever been on one of them loop-de-loops in a neighborhood where you have multiple exits that you can get off on, but that's what it can be like. Is you're in your car and you're just going around that loop. You got all these exits and you know you want to get off at one, or you want to get off at one of them and head in a certain direction, but you're not 100% sure, so you just keep driving around and it feels like you're on that hamster wheel and nothing's ever happening. You're taking a lot of action, but you're not getting anything done. Well, I want you in 2023 to get off that hamster wheel, to be able to go down the right avenue in the right road and start to create success for yourself. So today, we're going to talk about implementable actions to be able to take for 2023. And how do I set my goals and how do I set myself up for success? So first, I sit down and I take some time and I actually put pen to paper. And this might sound like such an easy strategy and something that everybody out there is doing, but spending 30, 60 minutes one-on-one with you in a pad, it can have a huge impact on what you're doing. And you just start writing down them goals and that vision. Because how I like to set out my goals is small, medium, large, and huge. You got to have something you're chasing on every different level. You got to have something that allows you to get the wins knocked out, but also keeps you in the race. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be a champion. And we have to have championship level goals along the way to be able to hit, but we have to have the little goals that lead to that championship. Because there's never been a championship that was won when the championship was the only goal. So I sit down and I get everything out on paper. And then I look at it and say, hey, next year we have 12 months. What are the small ones? What are the medium ones? What are the large ones that I know I can get to? And then what's that huge goal? What's it going to be that I'm going to chase in that championship? What does that look like? Where are we headed? So I have a vision on the future. I have clarity around where I want to head and what I want to accomplish. Because without that, we're just aimlessly driving. Like I had just referenced earlier, we're just driving around and we don't know what exit to get off of because we don't know what streets to turn down. We want to make sure that when we're casting that vision and providing that clarity, we know exactly where we're headed. And it can't just be that huge goal. If we just set that huge goal and we chase it and chase it and chase it, we're not checking any of the boxes along the way to allow us to get there. And that's where we all want to get. So make sure when you sit down and you write down all of these goals and then you prioritize them, you gain clarity, you sleep on it, and you gain that vision of where you want to go in 2023, that you also have those small, medium, and large goals that lead you to that championship goal and where you're actually headed. So once you have all that written down, hey, that sounds amazing. What do we do and where do we go from here? Well, the first thing I do is I organize it and I put it down on a sheet of paper. And then I print that sheet out and I put it in front of my mirror, in front of my desk, hang it next to me, and I keep it around me 365 days. The next year, I look at it, I read it every day. Because you have to continue to remind yourself, what are we doing? Where is this action taking us? And what is the next step? Have I accomplished any of these? Is what I did yesterday moving me towards my small, medium, large, and huge goals? Am I positioning myself to be able to win that championship? Well, if you're not putting that in front of you every day, you don't know. Because one of the worst things we can do, and I'm as guilty at this as everybody else out there, is you spend all this time putting these goals together, and then you just wait to look at them until, September of the following year. And then you're like, oh, I have to try to get caught up and get on with this. First thing you should do is once you establish these goals and what it looks like and where we're headed in 2023, you need to put that in front of you. So you're looking at it every day. So there's no excuses. You know exactly where you're headed. You know exactly what you're doing every morning. I like to brush my teeth and read my goals off. I also add pictures. I don't just take the words. I put some pictures to it. Is there a piece of property you want to buy, a venue that you want to rent out, a monetary number that you're wanting to hit? Maybe it's a new house. Maybe it's a new car. Maybe it's a vacation of your dreams. Let's get some of those pictures. Let's put them with that. It doesn't have to be a complete vision board, but let's put something that your mind sees that looks at it and goes, man, I really want that. And I'm super hungry for it. So let's list them goals out. Let's get them situated, small, medium, large, and huge on that list. Separate them up into business and personal goals as well. It can't just be all about business and it can't just all be about personal. You got to have a mix of both. I like to have all of that intermediate together and intermix in my life. So when you look at my goal list, if you come over to my house and you use my bathroom, you're going to see what I'm shooting for. I have full transparency. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not scared. I understand most people are going to think I'm crazy for the moonshot that I have and where I want to head and what I want to do with my family and with my business. And you shouldn't be afraid of that either, because these are your goals. They're your visions. And every year should be a year that moves you closer to that dream life and where you want to go. Now, the third thing that we need to talk about, and the most important thing, because we can do everything else that we talked about and not get anywhere. Sadly enough, you can prioritize all of this. You can put it together in a list. You can hang it in your bathroom, your office, your car, look at it every day. And without this last item, nothing will ever happen. Because this is where the magic happens, everybody. And this is what you need to write down. If you take one thing away from what we talk about here today at this 2022 Fall Summit, is take action. The biggest thing you can do is take action on what you've laid out in front of you. So when I'm setting my goals and I'm putting all of this together, I look at it with an action-first mindset. All these goals, actionable. Are there steps I can take throughout the year to get me there? If not, then we need to revisualize exactly what are we talking about when it comes to that goal and where we're headed in that vision that you're casting for 2023. But you want to be able to take action every day. One of the reasons you want to read this and look at it every day is because you want to hold yourself accountable to taking those actions. I like to do it first thing in the morning because it allows me to reflect on the day before and also plan for the day that I'm in. We all have those to-do lists. We all have the stuff we prioritize. So we want to make sure we're hitting all that stuff out, but that stuff needs to correlate to the goals that we have set and lead us that way. Because if we write down a bunch of different stuff and then we take no action, we're going to get to the end of 2023 and go, wow, where did the year go? Because I'm already saying that about 2022, and I've taken a lot of actions, and I've had huge wins this year, and major things happen. But I've been taking action the entire time, but the year still flies by. Don't be in a position where that year has flown by and you haven't taken any action. It might sound like the easiest part of it all, but it's the part that we forget so many times. And I don't want you to forget it. So let's recap real quick. Make sure we're all on the same page, that you have actionable items to go have the absolute most amazing 2023 you can ever have. Because I'm going to have it, and I want you to have it with me. I want to do this next fall, and we go, oh my goodness, look at what we accomplished. Because we took action, we wrote it down, and we knew exactly where we were heading. We cast that vision. So, actionable items. Number one, sit down, prioritize your goals. Small, medium, large, and huge. Organize them, cast that vision. Know exactly where you want to head and what does that championship look like in 2023. Number two, once you have them all written down, post them up where you can read them every day. Don't be afraid. If other people see them, it doesn't matter. They're your goals, they're your vision. It's not something you should hide from. Just because it might seem crazy to others doesn't mean it's impossible. So write them down and put them where you can get them. And the third thing, the most important thing, is to make sure starting January 1st, you take action every day. Read those goals, look at those pictures, and take an action that moves you towards that championship. Be a winner. Every day. Is every day going to be a winning day? Absolutely not. You're going to have days that just kick your butt. But the great thing is that every day is a fresh start to go out there and continue on and dominate. So take that action. Reevaluate what you did the day before. Was it a win? Was it a loss? Did you move the ball or not? And then decide what is that action you're going to take that day. It can be just one thing that moves that needle and moves the ball forward towards your goals. And throughout the year, I know you're going to cross them off. You're going to achieve this. Amazing things are going to happen. Just don't be scared. And always remember that your future is held in your hands. It's up to you to take the actions, to write the stuff down, to understand your vision. Because if you don't understand your vision, how are you going to be able to spread that vision and bring other people in on it? It is so fantastic to be here today. And I hope everything that I've talked about moves the ball for you. 2023 is going to be a fantastic year. I have big ambitions, but they all start with those small, medium, and big goals that then lead me to my huge ones, the championship. I have a lot of boxes to check, and I want to check those boxes with you. So take the time, set it up, write it down, create that vision, put it on paper, look at it every day, and then take action. I don't want to be repetitive here, but I want to make sure that we have clarity on exactly how to win 2023. Because together, that's what we're going to do. We are going to win 2023, and we are going to have the best year ever. And together, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So once again, I'm Ron Nussbaum. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nuttnest, and I am going to spend my time casting a huge vision and then reading it every day and then taking the necessary actions day in and day out. I hope you do the same. And I hope next year at this time, we have a conversation about the amount of wins that we've had together. Go out there, dominate the rest of 2022, and let's win a championship in 2023. We'll talk to you later.